High earthquake hazards. Where do you think of in the United States do you think of when you hear the phrase, high earthquake hazard? Perhaps California, with its infamous San Andreas Fault, or the far west coast of Washington and Oregon due to the long-term risk of a future dangerous Cascadia megathrust earthquake. It thus makes sense to the common person that these two respective regions are indeed classified as existing in a high earthquake hazard zone. Yet, if we zoom out the map, there are also a few high earthquake hazard zones that might surprise some people. For example, why is a portion of southern Illinois, Arkansas, Missouri, and 3 other states classified as being situated within high-risk areas? What about southeast Tennessee? Or southeast South Carolina? What about central northern Utah, southern Oklahoma, and why is a tiny strip of land in western Montana also shaded as being within the second highest threat category for earthquake hazards? This video will briefly discuss each of these regions and why they are rightfully classified as having what many in the public might perceive as an unexpectedly high earthquake hazard. Starting off with that little red sliver in Oklahoma, that marks a major fault line known Oklahoma-Mears Fault as the Mears-Willow Fault Line, which measures 112 miles or 180 kilometers long. This fault line is potentially capable of producing earthquakes rating as up to a magnitude 7.5, and even produced one such large earthquake in the low magnitude 7 range around the year 550. It along with similarly trending faults are related to a weak zone in the crust created in association with one of the planet's worst mass extinction events 540 million years ago. During the late Ediacaran period, a series of large fault lines were created in association with the beginning stages of development of a third arm of a triple junction in what is known as the southern Oklahoma Oerlikon. This zone of weakness has remained ever since, which despite a low rate of large earthquakes still has the potential to one day produce them. Heading to northwest Arkansas and southeastern New Madrid Seismic Zone, Missouri, we have a region that produced 4 highly destructive magnitude 7 earthquakes during a 2-month timespan between 1811 and 1812. Known as the New Madrid Seismic Zone, this feature is caused by the buried remains of a failed continental rift zone referred to as the Reelfoot Rift, which originated 565 million years ago. This rift created a series of faults which have produced magnitude 7.0 to 8.0 earthquakes about once every 1,125 years in recent times, including in 2350 BCE, 900 CE, 1450 CE, 1811, and 1812. Heading over to eastern Tennessee, we have the aptly named East Tennessee Seismic